ruthless people. They don't give you your money just because they feel like it and you think it'd be funny. They look at return on investment and all those other things, and if there isn't going to be a return, you don't get the money. That's how it works. Okay, good morning. Today I'm going to go and see 3 business people, I think it's 3, who sent me a message on LinkedIn last week with the lines, "We're trying to raise £7 million to build a new form of luxury accommodation transportation, and we'd like you to tell us how to do it." Which point I replied and said, "I've no idea. I don't. I've never raised £7 million for a single company. I'm sure lots of people have, but that's not something we've done." So I ring him up and I said, it's not something I do. He says, "Well, come anyway. I want your opinion. I want to know what you would do if you were me, and I'd value that." I said, "Okay, see you later. I'll tell you what happens." Okay, just left the meeting with the investment challenge, and it's very good. It was exactly what I thought, what they said, which is they need £7 million to even get their product to market. And I've tried a few times to make this video now, and I'm just going to say it as it is. First thing, the main reason I'm having to redo this video so many times is I keep saying what it is, which I can't do because you'll work out who he is, and we don't want that. We don't do that sort of thing at Business Think. So, for confidentiality reasons, from now on, this product will be called a train. It's not a train. I walk in, he says, "Here's my proposal." I'd read it already, there's 4 pages of it. He says, "Here's my proposal. I need £7 million to build the train, and what do you think?" So I said, "Well, I've read your proposal, and what have you tried already?" And he told me about crowdfunding. He emailed crowdfunding company locally and said, "I'd like to put this forward for crowdfunding, is that okay?" And he actually said, "It's not ready yet, I know that, I haven't done a business plan or anything." He gets a very rude reply back, his words, which says, "Number 1, you're not ready." He knew that. "Number 2, your business plan isn't ready." He knew that too. And then thirdly, which is kind of interesting when you consider the first 2 statements, thirdly, even if you were ready, you wouldn't receive any crowdfunding at all for this project, and please don't bother. Which he obviously took as a badly. Rightly so. But let's just explore why they said that. They said that because he applied for traditional equity investment. Crowdfunding has this perception that it's all very exciting and no one gives monkeys about risk or return and all that kind of stuff, and that's garbage. When I know people who set up the crowdfunding companies, or a crowdfunding company, and they're still an investment company, it's still equity, and that's just the same deal as angels investment, which is they're ruthless people. They don't give you your money just because they feel like it and you think it'd be funny. They look at return on investment and all those other things, and if there isn't going to be a return, you don't get the money. That's how it works. So why did they kick him back so hard? It's because there was no return on investment. When you evaluate his proposal, what becomes very clear very quickly is there's no money in it. He needs the investment to build the prototype. He calls it a product, but it isn't. It's a prototype. He's never built one, which means the technology he's talking about to make the train is unproven. And he said, no, I'm 100% confident that it will work. Well, I'm 100% confident too. But to an investor, that means you have zero certainty. People don't buy confidence, do they? They buy return on investment and opportunity and, that kind of thing. certainty. So that's why he didn't get the money, because he sent a proposal, said I need £7 million to build the train, and you'll make some money on the next train. And they went, I don't think so. You ain't getting anything from us, because our investors will think that's a crazy bet, you know, a madness bet, and it is a bet, right? But why it's wrong to kick it back is, I accept that it's a long shot, but there's something within the proposal that everyone's missed, which I'm reading it and I'm thinking, oh, this looks amazing. And then I get to this other bit which said, you know, we have a clean motor for this vessel. The motor is diesel free, doesn't use fuel, powers itself, will keep going, and is silent. Well, that's interesting. So what you would have there is a train that doesn't use diesel. It's not a train, right? So I then said to him, well, you know, I like your proposal, I'd love this to happen. I mean, it's incredible. This is the most amazing train I've ever seen. Tell me about this motor. And so then he explains that he's got a patent on it. He's in partnership with someone in America. It's been tested at prototype level, the motor, and that it works, but has never been used on a larger scale. So, all right. Well, any business person will understand that. You know, they will get that. And then they will see applications where you can make a return on investment with the technology. And so you can see returns on investment where, well, imagine that, right? You're the only train manufacturer in Britain that uses clean technology for your motors. You don't use diesel, and you don't, big glory. You don't use diesel. It's silent. You know, that is game-changing stuff for the industry, not just your company. So we said, well, let's do two things. We'll do what you say, which is try and get crowdfunding, equity investment, get people to give you their money privately, or business-wise. But there's an easier way than this. Plan B, which is you approach the biggest train manufacturer in Britain, and you say, I know you've got an R&D department, you must have because you're in technology, right? And I've already got a patent on something that's going to change the entire industry, and I'm only going to give it to one competitor, and that will be you if you come on board. What I need from you is the support of your people, your R&D people, and I need some money, and in return I'll give you a share of the innovation, right? Not the product, the technology, and you can have rights on it, which means you'll be the only train manufacturer in the whole country who is using clean technology. Well, in the next 20 years, the brand pressure from people to have clean technology, pollution-free, is just going to be massive. So why wouldn't they? So you got, you know, he wants to basically test his own engine by building the prototype, which is going to cost him £8 million, or you can get the engine tested by someone else. It's going to cost £300,000. It's going to take a lot less time because they already have a train to put this thing in. Right? I like that one. I like that one because I can send an email right now to the train manufacturer and say exactly what I just said to you. You'll be the only people with clean motors, and it's a patent, and I can come and do a presentation and pitch to you exactly what it is, and they'll meet me. They'll have to, because it's too risky not to. It's a massive threat for them. So I like that one, which technically we will call find a strategic partner in the industry. A, they understand the industry. B, they can see the opportunities because they are application engineering almost. You know, they are like innovations of what they already have. It'd be easier to do. And they have a massive customer base already. So it's not private equity investment where they just want the money. There's a much bigger picture in play. And most importantly, people understand it. Business people understand the opportunity of a new innovation like clean motors in trains. It's not a train. Yeah, so we've got two strains now, right? Which is go down private equity funding, crowdfunding, and there are different ways to get crowdfunding than the one I explained. There are private websites where you can put out ideas and proposals, and private people can buy shares or whatever you want to call it. We've just done that with publishing. Just written a book and approached that strategy. But also, in parallel, go find a strategic partner, someone in the industry. Make your money off the innovation, then build your train. Yeah, He wants the train. That's his dream in life. He wants to stand on the train, drive the train, enjoy the train. How you get to that point doesn't really matter. So if the best chance of getting to that point is to share the experience, to share the money, and to use other people's resources, a strategic partner, a train manufacturer, do that. The important thing is that you're standing on the train, looking out the window, driving along, thinking, my life was worth living, and this was great. Yeah, that's what happened.